There was a photo circulating, went viral, of Caitlin Clark
that has been displayed with her and Sandy Brondello.
The New York Liberty players, after the game, meeting up with Caitlin Clark.
Scene that took place after the Fever game.
Sabrina Ionescu says, hey, Caitlin, come to the back with us real quick.
New York Liberty sent the Blitz. Sandy, Sap, and Stewart are all talking to Caitlin Clark in the tunnel.
The Liberty have shown her love.
A leaked tunnel video of Caitlin Clark with New York Liberty stars and her agent.
Why is her agent there? That is the key. That's the key. Her agent's involved?
Has WNBA fans buzzing.
It's this photo right here that is really heating up. I mean, this one right here is really breaking the bank.
Right after a Fever loss, she was all smiles in a moment that felt anything but casual. Was this just friendly or the start of something bigger?
The Fever continued to just act foolish. New York will realize what they got.
If you believe Caitlin Clark deserves better, drop a 100% in the comments.
Nobody has brought more attention to this league than Caitlin Clark. Nobody has brought more viewership to this league than Caitlin Clark. Now, is Caitlin Clark going to get traded? That's up to Caitlin Clark, really.
Right after a tough loss to the New York Liberty, cameras caught something unexpected.
The New York Liberty sent the Blitz. Sandy, Sap, and Stewart are all talking to Caitlin Clark in the tunnel.
Caitlin Clark wasn't heading straight to the locker room. She was in the tunnel surrounded by Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello, superstars Sabrina Ionescu, Breanna Stewart, and most importantly, her agent, Aaron Kane. This wasn't a quick, good game.
Would you look at what we have here? We got Sabrina Ionescu, far left. Look at those back muscles. All right, Sabrina, do your thing. We got Aaron Kane. Oh, doing her Stephanie White pose.
This was a tight-knit huddle. Sandy placed her hand on Caitlin's shoulder. The group looked relaxed, even joyful, as if they were discussing something deeper than basketball. Why was her agent there?
Maybe they're talking All-Star game. Why is her agent there? That is the key. That's the key. Her agent's involved?
This was just a post-game chat.
Scene that took place after the Fever game.
That's what fans immediately zeroed in on. Almost overnight, the footage went viral. People weren't just sharing it, they were dissecting it frame by frame. This wasn't just Liberty players saying hello.
We got Sabrina, we got the agent, we got Stewie, we got Caitlin Clark looking like I ain't seen her this happy all year. Right here. I ain't seen her. And look at Sandy. Sandy's grinning with her hand on Caitlin's shoulder.
This looked like business.
This is how it starts in sports. Player eventually marks their next destination.
The smiles, the body language, the positioning. It felt like a private meeting that just happened to get caught on camera. And what made it even more powerful? Caitlin Clark, after a disappointing game, looked genuinely happy.
Caitlin Clark, immediately after the game, that her team lost the damn game, Caitlin is all smiles.
Caitlin Clark looks unbelievably happy.
Happier than she's looked all season in Indiana. That one moment told a story fans had been whispering for weeks. Caitlin Clark might already be looking ahead.
Many people is insinuating that Caitlin Clark could be trying to plan the outs of Indiana. People is already saying that Caitlin Clark could be trying to get the hell out of Indiana.
That tunnel moment hit hard, not just because of who was there, but because of everything building up behind the scenes. Caitlin Clark may be the biggest name women's basketball has ever seen, but from the start, the Indiana Fever haven't treated her like it. Let's start with the most obvious sign of disconnect.
If Stephanie White believes that this team is better with Ari McDonald, if she shares the same views as Carolyn Peck, you fire her on the spot.
Stephanie White gets asked about it in a post-game interview, and she names about 15 people before giving credit where credit is due. Stephanie White Lie, as we like to call her these days. She gets asked about Caitlin Clark winning the ESPYs.
Caitlin is so fortunate, as well as all these guys, really. I mean, that they don't know anything any different than the WNBA, right? Like they've seen their idols play. they work their asses off to get to where they are, and to be able to be honored, whether it's the ESPYs or whether it's league awards or whether it's All-Star or whatever. I just think they continue to then lead the way for the other young players that are watching. So we're proud of Caitlin.
Her own head coach doesn't fully back her. When Caitlin was awarded WNBA Player of the Year at the ESPYs,
Caitlin Clark, in her first eligible year, wins an ESPY award for WNBA Player of the Year.
a massive achievement for a rookie, Coach Stephanie White was asked about it. But instead of celebrating her star, she rattled off a list of other names first.
What's so hard about that, Stephanie?
Breanna Stewart, Aja Wilson, Sue Bird, before reluctantly circling back to Clark. That wasn't just awkward, it was disrespectful. This is a player who has broken viewership records,
WNBA Player of the Year, Caitlin Clark Kent. Nobody has brought more attention to this league than Caitlin Clark.
packed arenas, and put the WNBA in the mainstream conversation. Yet even with all of that, Indiana continues to act like she's just another name on the depth chart.
The Fever continued to just act foolish. New York will realize what they got
Then there's the All-Star controversy.
if she was to leave in 2027. Stephanie White confirmed that when it comes to Caitlin Clark playing in the All-Star game, it's not up to the Indiana Fever. It's up to Caitlin and her team.
When asked about Caitlin playing in the All-Star game, Coach White said, "That's up to Caitlin and her team." Her team? That wasn't just a random phrase, it was a signal. Caitlin has built her own circle of advisors. She's not just a player anymore. She's a brand, a business, and she's taking control of her career. And how could you blame her? Every game she gets pushed, hit, fouled, with little to no protection from referees.
Stephanie White said that the refs were calling things differently against Caitlin Clark, and there was more physicality against Caitlin Clark.
The physicality is brutal, and many of the fouls go completely uncalled. While other franchises rally behind their stars,
Fever in the league wants this, but unfortunately it comes with the most visible event of their season, trying to sabotage Caitlin Clark's career.
Indiana stays quiet, offering no public support. In fact, they often look confused about how to use her at all. The Fever promised a fast-paced offense built around Caitlin's shooting and playmaking. Instead, she's been stuck in a slow, grinding system that dulls her strengths. Her minutes fluctuate. The ball doesn't always run through her. She's been asked to adjust to a system that doesn't seem built for her, while veterans like Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner get more stability and structure. And behind all this, a front office that looks completely lost. Rotations change constantly. Signings don't make sense. They're trying to build a team around vets nearing the end of their careers, while Caitlin is just beginning her prime. Let's be honest. Caitlin Clark is doing more
Kathy Engelbert, when she took over the job, to be delivered a golden goose, transform into a rowboat.
for the Indiana Fever than the Fever are doing for her.
She's the biggest sports star in basketball. One could argue, okay, LeBron's hanging around. If you want to say LeBron, fine. Steph, okay, she's in the top 3 with Steph and LeBron and in the WNBA.
She's keeping them relevant.
They didn't transcend the sport, but weren't nearly as entertaining as Caitlin Clark.
Selling out their arenas and bringing in national attention. But instead of protecting that asset, they're fumbling it.
But when Kathy Engelbert gets delivered this generational talent, this generational sports figure, what does she do with it? She squanders it. She doesn't know how to market it.
And the tunnel video? That was the wake-up call. Because in New York, she was smiling. She was valued. She was seen as a star, not just a rookie. The contrast couldn't be clearer.
The brutalization of her for the last 18 months by the league as a whole has beat her down.
I hope CC get the hell out of Indy.
The tunnel video wasn't just a casual moment, it was a message. The New York Liberty didn't just bump into Caitlin Clark. They waited for her. They greeted her with smiles, open arms, and most importantly, respect. Let's break down exactly who was there. Head coach Sandy Brondello, with her arm around Caitlin like a trusted mentor. Sabrina Ionescu, already the face of Liberty basketball. Breanna Stewart, a proven champion and former MVP, and standing right beside them, Caitlin's agent, Aaron Kane.
Sandy Brondello, hand on Caitlin Clark's shoulder. Breanna Stewart there. Sabrina Ionescu there. Caitlin Clark's agent, Aaron Kane, is there.
This wasn't coincidence. This was calculated. A deliberate moment caught on camera where Caitlin Clark looked more comfortable and connected than she ever has in Indiana. And fans saw it instantly. The body language, the energy, the vibe. It wasn't just basketball. It felt like alignment. And let's be honest, New York makes sense for Caitlin in every single way. On the court, the Liberty are a contender. They're stacked with talent, from Stewie to Sabrina, and they're already a top team without Caitlin. Add her playmaking, court vision, and logo range shooting, that's a super team. Instantly. Off the court, the Liberty are built for branding.
Nike. Caitlin Clark, oh yeah, a poster on Times Square, okay. Okay, a projection on Caitlin Clark on the Empire State Building, ooh, that's nice.
New York is the biggest media market in the world. Imagine Caitlin Clark on a Nike billboard in Times Square, her face lighting up Madison Avenue, a signature shoe, a clothing line, late-night talk shows, and global endorsement deals. In Indiana, she carries the brand. In New York, the brand carries her. Behind the scenes, the Liberty front office is playing chess while Indiana's playing checkers. They've been quietly stashing international talent like Raquel Carrera and Marine Fotu, players projected to join on rookie contracts, freeing up the budget to make a run at Clark in the near future. And the whispers are growing louder. Sources suggest Sabrina and Stewie are even willing to take pay cuts to make room for Caitlin if it means building a true WNBA dynasty.
I see a player get injured, and a player like Paper coming back has had a few injuries this year. She's a great player. Really good for our craft to see her, but hopefully they get to see her after post-All-Star. Get to play together. As for the All-Star, I'm excited to get to know her a little bit. I think that's the part of the All-Star. It's going to coach players that you haven't coached before and get them to know them a little bit and enjoy the whole celebration.
Why? Because they see what's coming. They know Caitlin Clark isn't just another player. She's the future of the league. Let's also talk timing. Caitlin's rookie contract runs through 2027, and by 2028, she'll become an unrestricted free agent. But she won't need to demand a trade or make noise. All she has to do is wait, and Liberty management is ready. They'll have cap space, they'll have roster flexibility, and they'll have stars who are already recruiting her without even hiding it. This is how it starts. This is how super teams form. And this is how players like Caitlin take control of their careers. She's not just a star, she's a billion-dollar brand. She doesn't have to beg for help from Indiana. If they won't build around her,
The important thing for me was just making sure that she was okay. Anybody who's been injured, as most of us have, right? It's being injured and continuing to have setbacks is frustrating. Mentally, emotionally, oftentimes being injured is isolating. From my standpoint, the primary conversations that we've had last night and today are just checking in. Are you good? How can we help? We're going to continue to stay the course. We've got you. We're supporting you. Caitlin and her team will make decisions when it comes to All-Star. And for me, it's a big deal for us to have All-Star in Indianapolis. And of course, with Caitlin being a focal point of all of that. As the coach of the Indiana Fever, it's not a bigger deal than our long-term season, but it's also part of the fun. Those are conversations that Caitlin will have with her group. I probably won't be a part of those.
if they won't protect her, if they won't treat her like the face of the league, someone else will. And Liberty has already shown they're ready. While Indiana fumbles the basics, New York is playing the long game. The Liberty don't need Caitlin to survive, but with her, they become the most marketable team in league history. Packed arenas, national TV deals, viral moments, a modern dynasty built around vision, respect, and the league's biggest star. And maybe that tunnel moment wasn't just a leaked video. Maybe it was the first move of something historic.
I think there is a 50-50 chance Caitlin Clark leaves Indiana after her rookie season.
What we saw in that tunnel wasn't just a post-game chat. It was a glimpse into Caitlin Clark's future, one where she's valued, protected, and empowered. Indiana has had every opportunity to build around a generational star.
The Indiana Fever, you're on notice. Correct what is happening.
But instead, they've hesitated, mismanaged, and allowed others to do the recruiting for them. And now the Liberty are watching and waiting. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's the face of a movement. And if Indiana won't rise with her, she'll rise without them. Let us know what you think. Is this the start of a super team? Is Caitlin Clark planning her next move? And most importantly, does she deserve better? Drop a 100% in the comments if you stand with Caitlin Clark. Subscribe for more WNBA updates, because this story is just beginning.